Welcome back, everybody. So I moved my, remember I had a villager zombie in that boat in there. So I've moved them over here. I mean, every time I was going to get stuff over here, they were hitting me in the back of the head and it got annoying. So I put them over here, which isn't much better because I'm still going to get hit if I get too close to him. But, ooh, he actually growled louder. He's not a happy camper, but he's just going to stay over there for now. So oh, I'm heading over in this, well, actually I'm not heading in this direction. Am I? Yeah, I'm heading. I got lost. So I've got one little section right here that needs to be taken care of. Oh, I didn't notice that. Okay, I was wondering what the level was over here. This is on a normal level, which is not good because you get snow on there. So what I need to do is go through here and put in a pathway. And then off of that pathway, I'm going to have a bunch of berries. So this will be like the berry farm. And it's going to wrap all the way around to the other side. And I see there are Endermen around here. Because those are not supposed to be there. Those were left by the Enderman. Like, oh, this one over here too. I didn't even notice it. I'll just hold on to those. But the berry farm is going to go just along here. It's not really an organized farm. It's just a bunch of berries. I'm just going to put a bunch of berries in here with trees. I think I'll continue the azalea trees all the way around. And then we'll meet up over there. And that should finish up this area. Actually, this whole city should be done except for one little part. So that'll take care of everything to my left. Oh, except for this. And I haven't figured out, I'd probably put trees or something there. So the only thing that will be remaining will be this area here. And this is like our main commercial area. So I picture the road, I'll have a road through here, and we're going to have like a bank and a giant library and a theater, and then like a big square here with some fountains, and maybe some other, I'll have to figure out what the size is on these. I need to lay it all out, get the sizes, because the bank and the library is huge. I've kind of done a little bit work in creative on that one. So, and I've done the bank and the theater in creative, and those are also pretty large builds. So I'm not sure if they're going to take up this whole area. I'm thinking the theater would go over in that corner. Library, I will see if I can put the library here. And then maybe the bank over there. And then I might have room for something else here if I can think of something. And once this is done, then the city's done. And, oh, except for the bridge. And there's going to be a bridge which goes across there, which I already have built. I built it in creative on some map, but I can't seem to find it right now. I usually make a Lightmatic, a schematic out of all of them, and I can't find the schematic for my bridge. And it was a nice bridge, but it was like months and months and months ago. I built that. The bridge was built when I was building those towers over there, like that. When I was building that tower, I hopped in the creative one day and just did a bridge because I was laying out where the towers would go. And there's another tower that goes on this side, which isn't done. So yeah, so there'll be a tower on either side which flank the bridge. So I did that tower and the bridge. And that could be 6 months ago, maybe. Been a long time. But anyhow, and then I'll finish the whole city. And then once we're done with that, I may work on those spawners over there, or I may just go on a walkabout and find another project. Or maybe I'll kind of look back at some of my other stuff and see if there's something I need to do or fix or tweak or some other project I can do, which does not involve snow. It's going to be in a non-snowy biome. That is just my main requirement right there. So, I went and saw a Minecraft movie. I wasn't planning on seeing it, but someone got me a ticket to go see it because I'm a Minecraft person. They figure I play thousands of hours of the game. Might as well, aren't I excited to see it? I was like, no, I saw the trailer. It looks like trash. But I said, well, I'll go see it. We'll see if it's trash. And sadly, it met expectations. Not, actually not for some of the reasons I thought, but it is still, it is, I don't know if it makes me angry, frustrated, or just totally, utterly depressed that I don't even want to play the game or tell people I play the game. Especially people that don't, if people don't play the game and I tell them and they've seen the movie and they think that is what the game is like, it's almost embarrassing because Minecraft is one of the most creative games in existence. It allows your imagination to run unchecked. You can do whatever you want, essentially. And it relies you have to be, it kind of almost forces you got to be creative. You've got to think. It encourages creativity and getting, doing things, not even outside the box, but just being creative about stuff and thinking of ways to do things. And this movie is the most creatively bankrupt piece of crap I have ever seen. And that's saying something because I've seen the Star Wars movies. And those made me just furiously angry. This one is just depressing because but it's not surprising due to the state of Hollywood. Hollywood writers are incompetent boobs who can't they can't write their way out of a bag. They can't think. They have no creativity. They have no imagination. They can't do anything even remotely creative and imaginative and unexpected. And it took 6 people to write this movie. How can you be so blah and anti-creative, basically, and take 6 people to do that. That's what's amazing. I just can't. It's almost, you can't imagine that someone could be that bad at their job and get paid a 6-figure salary for this thing. Because these writers get paid a ton of money and they're incompetent. I mean, the thing's supposed to be a comedy, but it's not hardly funny at all. I'm not, and I will admit, I am not a big Jack Black fan. But what surprises me is he was actually probably one of the better parts of the movie. That's how, how bad the movie is that the only thing giving the movie energy or some kind of momentum was his energy, because he's got tons. You can just tell he's got tons of energy, and he puts that out there when he does his acting and stuff. But actually he doesn't. I'd say he really doesn't act anymore. He shows up to movies as himself and goes in there and is himself. I mean, he was in like one of those Star Wars TV shows, and he was just himself. And this time, this is himself, and he's supposed to be Steve. And well, let's take a look. We have the Jack Black action figure, which is round, and then you have Steve, which is Steve shaped. Those are just don't match. He probably would have. I would bring him into some other character, maybe like Herobrine or something. That would have been a cool, kind of a nod or some kind of weird thing where. But the whole story is just, I don't know, like text. Not, I don't know. I was going to say textbook. It's like from the book of how to write a movie script in 3 acts. You got, and I, too bad if I'm spoiling anything because you shouldn't watch the movie anyhow. I mean, you can watch it. It's not horribly unenjoyable, but personally, I didn't find it that funny. I didn't find it that enjoyable. And it was so predictable where everything was going. You knew exactly what was going to happen when, once you got through, the initial stuff. And some of it doesn't even make sense on what they're doing. The props are great. I do like that. They got the block stuff down, like the swords they were using looked pretty good. The diamond armor looks like diamond armor as far as you can get diamond armor. I still don't think it should have been a realistic, real life type movie. I think it should have been more something like the Lego movie, which is really great. So it's like, why don't we have something like that? But if you're going for real life stuff, they actually did not a bad job. The villagers look scary because that's how villagers look. Even if you look at them in this, and they took some stylized things with the creepers and and zombies and that kind of stuff, but there were so many missed opportunities. You could tell the writers have never played the game, and they didn't have anybody in the writers' room to say, oh, here's something people do in the game. Maybe we can incorporate that in a cool way. No, they have just these little, it's like they gave them like pictures. This is what the game looks like. And then someone kind of gave them a 15-minute synopsis of what you do to play the game. And they say, oh, we'll do, this sounds cool. We'll do this, do this, do this. But it was all at the base level. There was no imagination to it. There was no, it's not like they thought about what they were doing, or came up with no creativity in coming up with how they handled even just gathering everybody together and getting them into the Minecraft world. It was just, it's a port. You find a cube and a square orb and you get into the world. It's like, that's stupid. I mean, even I did he's mining to find the or. Why didn't he just mine and find a portal which takes you into, that you fall through to get into the Minecraft dimension? It was, he didn't. That's even just the initial part was just kind of not good. And then the characters are just 2-dimensional, caricatures. They were just, what the heck? I've got 2 trapdoors. My trapdoor formula is not working. That should be, I already set that, so it should be 12. So let me check on that. My data pack is messed up. I don't like getting 2. But so I fixed it, so I got 12. I'm not getting 12 anymore. Oh, that is so weird. I must be something on my recipes attached to my character or something. Because if I go in here and do this, it pops up with 2. But if I actually do this, it gives me the 12 that I was expecting. Give me 50. Yeah, okay. Yeah, so something's wrong with the data pack. Which is kind of weird because I just put the data pack in there, so it should work. Okay, so what was I complaining? I'm on a rant here about the new movie. And sadly, and the only reason it really irritates me is that it's making billions. It's going to make billions of dollars. And it's like setting a bad example. It's like rewarding bad behavior. Because writing this, this bad of writing should not be rewarded with anything, but it's going to be. They're going to make billions of dollars off of this thing. And then this movie studio is going to go, oh, this is the best way to make a movie. And it's like, oh, doesn't matter what, we don't need any coherent writing or any thought or creativity. We can just put any kind of crap out there on a plate and people will eat it up. And I don't know if people are just starved for content or what, and I would say, oh, it's, you've heard, oh, it's made for children. You don't need to worry about it. But it's like, I would hope children would want a little more in their stories. I can't believe, I can see it's kind of fun seeing the nostalgia, the place and all the things and, the Minecraft world on the big screen. But really, kids aren't that stupid. I mean, they can, consume logical and creative stories. I think they'd enjoy them more. I mean, I've watched other children's, I guess, I don't know if they're children's shows, but like Toy Story 2 is good, and Incredibles, and, and that kind of stuff. Were those didn't, I don't feel like those talked down to the audience and said, and did stupid stuff for, and kind of made you, it reminds me of like Idiocracy, where it's like, you expect the audience is just morons. And I even tried to trying to turn my brain off sometimes watching these things, but in this case, it was just so poorly written, just so formulaic. I would say an AI did it, but I don't think AIs would do it this badly. And they list 6 people in the credits as taking responsibility for this. So I don't think it was AI, but it was just not good. It was just not good. I mean, it's passable to sit and watch, but I would think it's not really something I would watch again, and I don't think it's anything, to write home about. But I mean, and we're gonna get to see, a second and a third and probably fourth and fifth movie as long as they can keep, crapping these things out. But that didn't seem to work, did it? Yeah, it's just kind of disappointing in the whole scheme of things. Well, I guess that's right. Yeah, it takes a lot of blocks to make things. But to get to be, go on to just a few specific things. I mean, Jason Momoa, they kind of, how do you take someone who's like that? I mean, wasn't that totally believable as a nerdy geek person. I mean, he looks like he works out constantly, which I don't picture being a video game geeky guy who, he would have, I would imagine he's going to get, just with his looks alone, even if it's shallow, he's going to get babes hanging around him. So I'm not sure why he'd be in such a bad state. And I would think he could get some, I guess he's reliving his past, but he actually wasn't, he was stubborn a brick, but I guess he wasn't too bad. him and Jack Black kind of carried things, I thought, because otherwise it would have been insufferable to watch. Probably would have died of boredom watching. Henry, I guess, the little kid, he's a bad actor. Just the way he delivered his lines and stuff is just that. It's like, I don't know how he got the job. I don't know who his father is, or his mother, but they must be one of the producers or know somebody, because his delivery on lines was horrible. The other the girls were good, so they weren't too bad. But their characters are just flat. They didn't give their characters really any real substance. And then the real estate lady has a mobile zoo or whatever. My main thought was like, what? I'm just picturing they're going to come back from the Minecraft world into the real world, and they're just going to have a bunch of dead animals in the back of her car. Because, they drove off to find the kid, and I would imagine they took her car, or she left her car someplace, but it's got a llama and other animals in the back, and they've been gone for a while. So I'm just afraid they're going to come back and find dead, rotting llamas or skeletons in the back of the car, because she left them when she went into the mines to rescue the kid. So really, I don't know if he needed rescuing. He seemed to be doing fine. So that's just, she's like, I'm almost just not flabbergasted. It's just depressing on just what you can pass for a movie nowadays. But so far, it's like Hollywood movies have just been horrendous, and it just proves what that they can't. Writers in Hollywood are horrible. They just have no imagination. They have no original thought. They have no, creativity. And that's, that works maybe in some things, but this is like the whole point of like this whole game, the whole Minecraft thing is creativity. Be creative, do what you want. Don't worry, you can do whatever your mind tells you, whatever your mind can imagine, you can do. And then you come up with a movie like this, which is basically, we're just going to go with the very basic ideas, very basic, even like the builds. They give you a brief look at what Steve built. But even that, most is like a lot of statues, no real, nothing like you see in a Minecraft world. I don't see any big castles and towers and that kind of stuff. And even like for the villager, he's like, I've built most of this stuff in the village. It's like, it looks like a normal village. There's a chicken cooker. That's it. Where are the walls around it with guard towers to protect you from the pillagers and stuff? And I don't even think we saw pillagers in this one, which I think pillagers should have been the main enemy in this one. I don't know why nether pigs. And the nether didn't even look like nether to me. It was like dark and black, but it's not orange and red, which is what the nether is. So it's like, I didn't know I could put stuff on the bottom of these. That's good. I don't recommend the movie. Sorry, I don't recommend the movie. But but talking about builds, they had a chance. They could have done these super creative builds. Even go out and borrow builds from like the community. You have 10 years or more of people building things in Minecraft A lot of it on YouTube that you could just borrow from, pay them a few dollars and say, I want to use your build in the Minecraft movie. Probably wouldn't even have to pay half of them because they would just go, sure, yeah, do whatever you want. But I mean, the village should have been really built up, like a city like this. Should have been the village after Steve got done with it because he'd been in there for, what, decades? What's he been doing for decades? Mining? I mean, you can only mine so much. You need to start to craft and build. You can't just mine your way through Minecraft. You need to craft, which includes building and stuff. So, oh, the one thing I did like, I like the tater tot breakfast pizza because I do like my tater tots, and I never even thought of it for a breakfast pizza before. So that was one thing I got out of it. So there are good things in the movie. So, oh, one thing I'm skipping around here, but and if I'm spoiling it, I'm sorry, but you will know the plot generally. You won't know specifics, but I'll try not to be too specific, but you can imagine they go to a woodland mansion, and if you don't want to hear the spoilers, although it's not really a spoiler because it's what happens gets over before. I'll give you a countdown of 5, and 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5. Okay, so now everyone who still wants to go see the movie and don't want to be spoiled. So they go to the woodland mansion and gets the stuff from the chest, but I thought they missed a great opportunity to use something in the woodland mansion to their advantage. So you have them. He's getting the extra cube thingamajigger from the mansion. What he should have also grabbed was a totem of undying, and given that to, was it Garrett? Is it Jason Momoa's character? I can't remember. I think his name's Garrett or something. But then give that to him to hold or something. Just you could arrange it. You can be creative and actually arrange for him. Him to get the totems. And like, what's this? I don't know. Here, hold on to this. I don't know what it is. And then at the point where they're escaping, and you think Jason Momoa is blown up by the gas or whatever and dies, which you knew he wasn't going to die because he's like top billing on the movie. So it's like you're not going to kill him, especially in this type of movie. You're not going to kill like the main character or any of the characters. You're going to kill the villains, but not any of the real characters. So anyhow, that's what I'm saying. It's not really a shocker or a spoiler because. So instead of giving the totem of undying, he doesn't really know how it works, but he doesn't need to because he's holding on to it. So then when he does die and he comes back, he can go, just sort of pop back in with the totem. And that would have been, I think, a cool thing to do, or a creative way of handling him dying but not dying, trying to get you the shot, doing this little false flag shock thing. He's dead. Which no one believed he was really dead. I mean, they didn't even believe he was really dead because when they're back at the mushroom house, they don't even mention him. That's how much they cared. Because they've read the script. They know he shows up later on. But instead of having him come back and say, I did this water bucket trick. It's like, number one, he didn't have water in his nunchuck buckets. And number two, it's just sort of stupid. I mean, or just uncreative. It would have been better if they just went ahead and given the totem of undying, because they were in a woodland mansion. These people I would imagine their chests would be full of these kind of things. So you would get these totems and voila, it's a way to incorporate the game and incorporate smartly, I think. I'm going to say, even though I thought of it myself, it's a clever way of incorporating game mechanics into your movie. You know, and you really don't even need to explain it for the normies who are watching it, because most of the people who are suffering through this thing are gamers. You know, they're the parents who don't really give a crap. They're just taking their kid to it. And I guess it's, you know, fun thing. It's kind of like a fun ride for the kids to go on. But I still think you can still be smart and intelligent and have a fun ride for the kids. Oh, I did have blocks. I thought it was out of oak logs, but I'm not. Let me wrap this up. I mean, I think I've complained, ranted as much as I can, but just one last thing on the final battle. For all the preparation they do, they don't, you know, it's like we're going to be crafting. It's like they don't really do that much crafting. It's more of just grabbing things off the shelf and kind of do a little bit of crafting, but it was like pitiful. It's like, you've got these, you know, they're coming, you know, where the portal is. It's like, why aren't you like building walls and protections and setting up redstone contraptions to trick them and capture them and kick the piglins here and there so you can, you know, to fight them and take care of them. I mean, that kind of stuff. Be creative with it, but it's like, oh, look, we got diamond armor and a sword. Goody, goody, goody. I mean, jeez. Let's talk about the most boring way. But I guess that's how it's written in the book of how to make a movie, you know. And yes, and I don't count. If you make $1 billion, you can still have a crappy movie. It can still be a very bad movie. And this is a very bad movie. No matter how much amount of money you make doesn't equate good movie. This is just poorly written, you know, creatively bankrupt, doesn't have anything, you know, doesn't give you any sense of the creativity that you can get in this game. And that's sad, because there's so many opportunities they missed. You know, this should have, you know, instead of fighting the piglins and having to do some weird laser beam out of space. I mean, what kind of mods are they playing on that thing? It should have had, you know, you should have needed to get like had to go to the, you know, well, speaking of that, going to the end, he has elytra, but he doesn't have ender pearls. And if you've gone through the trouble of going to the end and getting the elytra, multiple elytra, at least 3 elytra, it means you fought the dragon, and there's endermen all over the end. So you've got lots of ender pearls. You know, that is something you get when you're in the end. You get more ender pearls than you know what to do with. So him having 1 ender pearl or 2 ender pearls is just stupid. You know. And then when did the endermen become like psychic attack monsters that cause you to see people running around with purple eye? That was silly. You know. There should have been, I would have, you know, to get out back to the world, it should have been something where they had to go into the end and defeat the dragon to get the egg, and then the egg could have been used to open the portal to get back to the real world. Now, there didn't need to be this stupid battle with piglins, and it made no sense, and with Lady Piglin, I can't even remember who she was because she doesn't really exist. You know, none of that garbage, you know. This idea that, you have to have this major battle, you know, it's like the major battle could have been trying to figure out how to defeat the Ender Dragon. Or maybe even not defeat the Ender Dragon, but figure a way to tame it or something. But I could see getting the dragon egg would have been the end goal, because you needed it to create the portal. You know, you could have got that information from like a book. You know, there could have been like this jungle temple you went to, and there's this lectern with a book on it, and the book tells you how to create a portal to the end. Or even that could have been, you know, Steve's secret knowledge you could have had. Or Jack Black could have been a different character who had that knowledge that they had to go find or rescue, or were convinced to come out of retirement to help them because he'd become a hermit. A hermit on Minecraft, imagine that. Yeah, some creative besides the garbage they gave us, but unfortunately, we got this movie. I'm not going to watch it again. Once was bad enough. But I, personally, if you're looking for something good, some kind of Minecraft thing, just go onto YouTube and search like Minecraft fan film or Minecraft animation. You will find something much better and enjoyable. And I say more Minecrafty to watch. It just will happen, you know. So that would be my recommendation, is do that instead of watching the film. Don't waste your money on the film. Go get yourself some popcorn, sit down and watch some fan films, because there are some very good fan films out there that have they're a lot more creative and a lot more enjoyable than this was. Oh, but I think I have ranted. I've tried to keep myself calm, because I wasn't really wasn't really angry with it. I'm actually more depressed than anything, because it turned out as I thought it might after watching the initial trailer. But what I thought was bad in the initial trailer really wasn't the worst part of the movie. Sadly, that what I was worried about in the main, was too much Jack Black and the animation Minecraftiness being totally just scary looking. And I'm not saying it's really the best, but it's a lot better than I thought it would be. So, but overall, it's just the complete lack of creative thought and no creativity, no innovation, no imagination in this movie. It's just dross that Hollywood craps out nowadays. And this is typical Hollywood. It didn't surprise me it comes from Hollywood. It's just somewhat depressing that it comes from Hollywood. It's just depressing. I had to deal with this or Minecraft. Because now I've got people who, anyone who's seen it, take their kids to it, and they don't normally deal with Minecraft. And then they find out, it's like, oh, you do Minecraft. It's just like that movie, isn't it? It's like, no. Please don't associate me with that movie. It's like, maybe I need to just quit and go get a different game that isn't a movie adaptation. Or at least if it is, like Mario or something, which is not a bad adaptation in some cases. So that's where I'm at. But I've taken up way too much of your time. This wasn't going to be a rant. I'm actually proud of myself. I didn't swear, or at least I don't think I did. So, because I was swearing while watching the movie. Well, not out loud, because there were kids in the theater, but in my mind, I was just disappointed. So, okay, I'm going to get some rest, and then next time we'll finish up there if I feel like it. So, thank you for listening. Thank you for thank you for putting up with my diatribe and my rant and my free flow of complaints about something I shouldn't even worry about. And I should not have seen it in the first place. I only saw it because it was free. Which I guess there's no such thing as a free lunch, because you pay for it in some ways. And I paid for it with a little bit of my soul that died watching this movie. So, until next time, you guys have a much better time than I did. Bye-bye.